Hello everyone, welcome back to the 2026 HTML learning journey. In the previous video, we have discussed the roadmap of this HTML and HTML5 journey, and today we are going to start learning the basics of HTML. Starting with what is HTML, how does it work, and what is a HTML document. So let's start by asking a question that what is HTML? And the answer is HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is the standard markup language for creating web pages that run in the browser. HTML actually describes the structure of a web page. Okay, so how does HTML do all of that? And the answer is HTML consists of a series of elements, and elements tell the browser how to display the content, such as hey HTML, this is a heading, and create an HTML heading such as h1, h2, etc. We will be exploring all of it, don't worry, and pass some content to it. Same goes for the paragraph also. We tell the HTML that this block of text is a paragraph. So go ahead and use HTML paragraph elements such as p tag or the pre tag based on the developer preference. Now that we have knowledge and understanding about HTML and what role does it play in creating or developing web pages, we can start learning about what a document is and what is its structure. So first of all, let's start by installing an code editor, which we will be going to create and edit our .html file. Feel free to choose any code editor you want. I will be going to use the Visual Studio Code because it is super simple to install and work on it. You can go to the Google website. So let's open Google here and type VS Code in it and open the first link that have a icon like this and title as Visual Studio Code. So let's open it and click on download for Windows. I have already installed it. You can pause the video here if you want to install it first and then follow along with me. So go ahead. Okay, now that we have installed the code editor, next thing is to open it. So let's open it here and you will be seeing a window like this. So let's close this and go to file and click on open folder and go to the directory where you want to create your HTML project directory. So I'm going to choose the desktop. So here we need to right click and click on new, then folder, and let's name it HTML tutorial, and let me add a space also. Okay, and click on select folder, so it will open the folder. Then we need to go to the file again and click on new file here, and let's name it index and with extension .html. You can name this file whatever you want, it doesn't matter, but the extension should be .html. So let's click on enter and we are inside the HTML tutorial directory. So let's create a file here. So the file has been created. So now that we have an .html file created, we can start building or coding our first web page. So let's start by typing doc type HTML at the top and start of our index.html file. Now what does it mean by this doc type HTML? And the answer is the doc type HTML declaration simply defines to our browser that this document is an HTML5 document, and all HTML5 documents must start with this declaration. It must only appear once at the top of the page before any HTML tags or elements, and it is not case sensitive, meaning you can write this in all lowercase or uppercase, but the standard is that the doc type should be in capital and the HTML in the lowercase. Then below this, let's write HTML opening and closing tag also. This HTML element is the root element of an HTML page, which contains all the web page information. Then inside HTML element, we write our head element, which contains meta information about our HTML page such as web page title, description, favicon, etc. And also the CSS style element or external CSS style file link. So let's give our web page a title. Currently, if we open our index.html file in the browser, it will display the file name as title. that is index.html, but we don't want that. And let's understand more about HTML document before opening our web page. So we can actually define our own web page title by going inside the head element and writing title, opening and closing element. And inside it we can write whatever we want to give our web page the title. So let's write HTML tutorial as our title. Next, let's create our body element with opening and closing tags also. The body element defines the document's body and is a container for all visible contents such as headings, paragraphs, images, hyperlinks, tables, lists, etc. Now inside body element, let's write our first heading element, which is h1 opening and closing tag. Inside it we can write our heading contents such as let's write hello world. So hello world. And below this let's also write our first paragraph opening and closing tag. So and inside it let's write Shubham compiled tag YouTube channel is amazing. Now that we have our HTML head, title, body, etc. tags defined, the next step is to actually run this index.html file in the browser and see the amazing result. So go to your directory where you have created this .html file. In my case it is on the desktop. So let's open our desktop here. And in the desktop I have a new folder created for me HTML tutorial which is created by the Visual Studio Code. So let's open it and double click on the index.html file to run our web page. So let's double click it. This will open your first .html file in your default web browser. So here we have hello world heading with h1 tag and a text of Shubham compiled tag YouTube channel is amazing as a paragraph tag. And we can close this safely because we don't need this. So this was our first .html web page that we have built together. We can also view the source code of our web page directly from the browser. So if we go to our web page that we have created, we can right click here and click on view page source, or we can directly access by the shortcut key Ctrl plus U. So let's click on view page source and here we can see our HTML document printed. So first we have the doc type HTML declaration, then we have root element that is HTML element, then we have a head and title which says HTML tutorial, then a body with heading and a paragraph. You can also view any website's source code by following the same steps and look at all the elements or tags it uses to display the web page in the browser correctly. So if we go to the google.com and view its source page, we can see that there is a lot of unstructured code that the Google has put in their page, maybe for performance optimization, but we can see elements such as HTML, doc type HTML, and head also. Then we can also view the source code of our Instagram profile. So if you ever wanted to see how your Instagram profile is built, you can look at its source code. So this is my Instagram profile, and if we right click on this page and click on view page source or the shortcut key Ctrl plus U, we can see that it follows the same structure, that a doc type declaration is here, then there is HTML tag, then a head element here and closing head element also, then the body tag, and it also contains some scripts which are used by Instagram to change the behavior of the web page, and there is much more. So now that you know about the HTML document and its structure, feel free to experiment with it and go to other websites and see their source code. This is it for this video. Next we will learn about HTML element. So if this video helped you in understanding HTML and HTML document, please give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel and comment your curious questions. Also follow me on the Instagram, link is in the description. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Happy coding.